What's up, everyone, and may the 4th be with you. I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk about something I hope, at least, is that the third game in the Jedi series is going to get released today. Because, we had Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, and I fell in love with those games. And hopefully, I haven't seen anything yet today. I'm hoping that we get some news about the third one. I've heard some rumors, and I wanted to talk about those today because I like some of them, I don't like others. But I just thought that I would, talk about some of them because I've heard a couple rumors about new stances, specifically a double blaster stance, which I don't know how I feel about, because as cool as it would be to have Cal slinging two guns, I think it would be a little, I don't want to say stupid. I don't think it would be stupid. I wouldn't like it. Actually, I think I'd feel the same way I feel about the single blaster stance. And that is how it looks. I don't like how it plays. I really like the actual gameplay for the blaster stance. I really like it. It's one of my favorite stances to play with, even if I don't like it aesthetically. Where I'm like, it's not my favorite to look at. And how it moves, I don't like how it moves, because the saber movements feel almost like rapier, or it's kind of, I can't tell, because I'm obviously not a professional. I don't really mess around, I mess around with swords on a very novice level, where I'm like, I like using them, but obviously I don't know techniques. There are a lot of movements that look it kind of looks like Olympic fencing. So kind of either saber or epee or foil, or one of the more stabby types. And I like that. I like the aesthetic of that. With the blaster, I feel like it doesn't make sense, because with those types of swords, a lot of the time you have a more bladed stance, and I don't know how that works with a gun. But I'm getting off topic because I want to talk about double blaster stance, which I heard a rumor about, which obviously wouldn't matter if with the sword, because there wouldn't be, I think a lightsaber stance without a lightsaber kind of feels weird to me. I feel like with the blaster stance, Cal was initially like, oh, maybe not, that's not very, Jedi, but then he's kind of like, okay, it works. He kind of did it. I feel like double blaster stance, giving up the lightsaber, I feel like it would be a little weird, but maybe I'd be wrong. Maybe, once the game comes out, if that's soon, hopefully. By soon, I mean this year. I'm hoping that there's going to be an announcement today, and it's going to come out this year. Other rumors that I heard were, well, I guess these ones aren't rumors. I feel like this is more speculation, but because of what we had in Survivor with Cal's struggle with the dark side, there's going to be more of that, and that would be cool. I would love to see more of that, because we got that right at the end of the story for Survivor, and I thought it was really cool. I really enjoyed it. more of that I think would be really cool, and I'd love to see, um, I'd love to see like him kind of struggling to find the balance of, the dark versus the light. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping we hear something about this game today. I'm hoping we get a release date is really what I'm hoping, because I am really looking forward to this game. I mean, Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order, both of them are some of my favorite games. They're up there with, like, I really like the God of War 2018 and then God of War Ragnarok, and I honestly cannot decide between my favorites of, like, God of War and, like, the Jedi series. I honestly don't know which one I like more. It depends on the mood that I'm in. So, like, they're up there with some of my favorite games. And so I'm really excited for this third one, which makes sense that there's a third one because it's Star Wars. Everything comes in trilogies. Well, I should say everything comes in threes, not, but it makes sense. And I really want to see Cal struggle with the dark side a bit. I heard that there might be a morality system that would actually affect the story, which would be cool. I would really enjoy that. Wind is a little annoying, but I think it's not messing with the audio too much. I'd really like to see the players be able to make choices for Cal, though I also wouldn't be surprised if that's not a thing, because it's Cal's story, so I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't choices. You can't, have like a dark ending and a light ending. I wouldn't be surprised, but it would also be really cool if you had things that affected the story, and, you had an ending where Cal either fell to the dark side or tapped into it too much, and consequences happen, like, something. I think that would be cool. It would definitely it would give a lot of variety. I've played through Survivor a few times, and there are parts of the game when I'm just playing through, I mean, there's so much that I haven't done, because there's just so much to explore. But, like, playing through the story multiple times, I wanted to play through the story with different stances, different combinations of stances. I've played through using all of the stances, and not just in, like, one playthrough. Like, I've gone through playthroughs where I'm like, okay, I'm going to use these two stances, or, like, this stance, and I'm going to focus on it. And I have my favorite stances, and it's really fun. And being able to expand on that, I think I'd love, like, a few more lightsaber stances, but also I know that, like, there's not a lot. I feel like there's not a lot more you can do outside of the stances that they already have. So maybe that's why the double blaster stance is, like, rumored to happen, which I think would be pretty cool. But, like, also not, like I said, I feel like it would, I feel like I wouldn't like how it looks, but then it would play really well. I feel like it's going to be like the single blaster stance in my head, where I like it and I don't, all at the same time. Yeah, but I'd also heard something about Cal using a white lightsaber, though I didn't hear that from as many places, so I feel like that one might not be as likely. My thing is, how does he get it? Because the people who were talking about it were like, ooh, Cal's gonna, in the story, his crystal's gonna turn red, and then by the end he's gonna purify it, which I don't like, because yes, Cal is struggling with the dark side, but from my understanding, to bleed a crystal, it has to be a conscious decision. You have to decide to bleed a crystal. I mean, we saw this in Jedi Survivor when Dagan Gera bleeds his crystal. We saw that he was making the conscious decision. He had to take apart his lightsaber, pull out the Kyber crystal, and then, like, you know, bleed it. So Cal, I feel like, wouldn't bleed his own crystal by himself, but if he's really fallen in the dark side for some reason, maybe he wouldn't do it with a clear conscience, I think. So something would have to happen where he really gives into the dark side and feels like it's absolutely necessary in that moment for him to bleed his crystal, but I can't find a reason where that makes sense. I might be wrong. I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to this game. It's gonna be awesome. I already know it. I've heard from a couple different places about, you know, him having his own daughter and, like, stuff with that, which I don't have any strong feelings on. I think it would be cool. I mean, he kind of, like, you know, took in Kata at the end of Jedi Survivor, so, like, I think that would be cool, him starting a family. There's interesting story to be had there. I think that would be, I think that would be cool. I was just trying to think of, like, where the story could go. There are definitely a few ways the story could go, and I think all of them are cool. I'm looking forward to that. I think there's a lot of interesting ways that this could go. There are a lot of ways this game could go, and if done right, I think all of them could be really good. And I'm really looking forward to it. And again, I'm really hoping that it gets announced, because the other games were really good. I really want it to get announced. I'm hoping for a release date today. I haven't seen anything. Like, I'm hoping for the release date to come out today. I haven't seen anything, but I also haven't been looking very hard. So hopefully I'll probably keep an eye out over the next couple days. No, but are there any other rumors or speculations that I've heard about for this game? I mean, I haven't heard anything else big, nothing else that I can remember. I think there were, you know, more stances, kind of morality system, which I think would be really cool if you could affect the story, or even if you could just affect the middle of the story but the end remained the same. I think that would be, that might be okay. I was talking earlier about how I was like, I don't think there's going to be a light and a dark ending because it's Cal's story, not ours, if that makes sense. Like, he's his own character. It's not like a game like Baldur's Gate 3 where you make the character and it's your story, so you can change it. It's a story where the story plays out, you know, it's his story, so being able to choose, it makes less sense in my head for us as the player to be able to affect the story when it's a character's own story. But then again, you have a bunch of games that have multiple endings that are like that, where it's not like you make your own character. So, and a lot of them are really good. So, you know, we'll see. I'm looking forward to this game. It's gonna be really fun, I think. I think it's gonna be really good, unless they really mess up. But, you know, with Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. Again, they're some of my favorite games. So I'm really optimistic. I'm really looking forward to this third game. And I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I'm really looking forward to it. I think that's all I'm going to talk about for right now, because I can't think of anything else. I can't think of anything else that like might come up. No, I think that's all I'm going to talk about right now. So thank you for hanging out with me. I didn't make a ton of progress on this, but I was talking a lot more than last time, which I'm happy about. But I actually had something to talk about, so I wasn't, focused on this a lot. I was just kind of, trimming off some more material. But thank you all for hanging out, and I will see you next time.